What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Great, man. So good to hear your voice, man. Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, my brother. You?
Great, man. Kids are doing well, keeping me busy with the sports, just like yours are, I see. And that's
Yeah, no
it, man.
doubt.
Hey, they love the book, by the way. We'll get into that more a little bit.
Such a good
but
book. Such a good book.
Everything's good, though, man.
Thank you.
Kobe is on the Cruise Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Cruise Show, Real 92.3, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Hey.
Someone who I wish was closer to me somehow. Because I think, guys, if Kobe really got to know me, this is Cruz, by the way, we would be really good
Besties?
friends,
I
guys.
believe it.
I think I'm a good friend, especially when it comes to people like Kobe. I'm a good friend to only people like Kobe,
Of
guys.
course.
Kobe, my guy, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's everything?
Doing really well. So I was thinking about you this weekend before we get to the Punies podcast, which is dope, and the book, Legacy and the Queen. I'm shooting for a girl, my wife and I. You clearly have the answers for that. What do I need to do, sir?
Man, bro, I don't know, my man. Like, it's just, it's just in the cards for us, bro.
I don't know, man. Listen,
I don't know what to tell you.
because you were in our bedroom this weekend, and I'm like, yo, my love, we got to get a girl. She's like, well, you're talking to Kobe. You know what I mean? On Monday. So
Yeah.
ask him.
You know what? I think just talking to me is probably enough, man. I got that princess vibe, bro.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. You do got
you
that
know,
princess vibe.
yeah, man. Yeah, we keep going. I'm gonna end up, with like 8 girls.
My goodness. Are you going to continue trying? Yeah, until we hit a boy, or what are we doing?
Nah, hey, man, that's V's decision, bro.
That's
I'm
right.
not,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Kobe predicted when Jeff's son was going to be born.
Yo,
It's-
crazy, Garcia.
we worked together the same day, and I took my wife to that particular event. It was in Santa Monica. It was a captain's lunch, Kobe, a high school captain's
So
lunch.
dope.
And you said you told my wife you about to have that baby today.
And what happened?
7 hours later, she had the baby.
Wow.
Man.
Hey, amazing, right? Amazing.
Hello,
And
Kobe.
Kobe, listen, man. Jeff has pictures with you holding his boys. The boys have the ultimate throwback Thursday pics. You feel me? Oh my God!
Well, me and Jeff go way back though, man. Like,
Straight up,
way
yeah.
back.
I try to tell
Yeah.
people all the time, and they look at me like I'm lying, but this is facts.
Hey,
Kobe's saying it.
can I tell you something, man? He gives the best parenting advice, though, man.
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, no, when my wife was pregnant, he's like, listen, here's what you got to do here. Here's what you got to do there. Because you had just had your daughter.
Sure.
And man, all that stuff rang true, man. And I just appreciate how
But
great.
the truth is, that's none of my insight. I'm just stealing information from Vanessa.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
passing it
My
on.
man,
Oh,
okay.
My man.
that ain't none of my intelligence, my man. I can't own up to that. That's all I heard about.
Okay, well, we got to let you run. Vanessa's on line 2. We'll talk to you later, and we're going to talk to Vanessa later. Okay? Well, speaking of parenting advice, really quick, my son, he's 2 years old, and he's great, but he's a bit of a handful, and he's trying to break my wife and I apart, I feel.
That's what you get when you get boys, by the way.
Yeah,
Which is all
exactly.
I make is boys, and
Yeah.
they're crazy.
You want that boy smoke? Bro, it's tough, Kobe. It's tough, man.
Yeah, I hear. I mean, I remember what a nightmare I was as a child.
Nah, straight up, right? Hey, the Punies podcast, by the way, it's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartMedia. Basically, guys, the Cruise Show and Kobe Bryant were co-workers.
Co-workers?
Yeah, on the same podcast. Hey.
Yes. I just got goosebumps.
I can add that to the resume.
Absolutely. Punies podcast comes out Saturdays, and Garcia was talking about how, it is like Saturday morning cartoons, and they take it back to, when radio first started, when shows were happening on radio.
Yeah, and it's so fun,
Yeah,
man. I mean, that was the idea?
dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's the idea. Like, take it back to Saturday morning cartoons, and
So lit.
you got to sit around and wait for the episode, and the kids are just having fun. I mean, they're playing sports. They're giving each other crap. They're talking trash back and forth, but they learn from each other. That's very important that they learn from each other.
Yes.
And you don't have parents in there. You don't have coaches in there all in the way. You just have these kids having fun playing sports. Coming up with their own commercials.
Yes.
Running the podcast themselves.
So
It's just,
cool.
Just a lot of
Wow.
fun.
That's so cool because nowadays, right? Like kids will be like, "Ew, commercials."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just podcast vibe, boom, plug and play, man. So good. The Punies.
Yeah.
And the Punies podcast, again, every Saturday. And what's great is kids nowadays, podcasts are their vibe. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
on their phones all the time. And if they could just hit download and get it every Saturday morning, they have a fresh episode to listen to, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, so Kobe, this book, right? Legacy and the Queen. First of all, very interesting book. Congratulations. Well done, sir. Well done. And
Thank you.
it's interesting immediately, Kobe. When you look at it, you're like, okay, I thought it was a dream catcher at first, but that's a racket. And then the book, the texture of the book.
Yeah, with that velvet.
Yeah, you know, it feels interesting. And then you get into the book and you realize that there's this tennis phenom. Her name is Legacy, and she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders. She's worried about her father. She's worried about the littles, the orphans in the orphanage, and she's worried about the funding. Like, this is a lot for a little, you know, for a young girl to carry, I guess. But she does in hopes of, you know, saving the future of the orphanage. And in the middle of it, she finds out a lot about herself, finds out a lot. And I don't want to give away too much, guys. I'm obviously very excited. Number one, Kobe's on the phone, and the book is great. But she also finds out who her mom really was as well.
Yeah, man.
It's so cool, Kobe. Well done, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. We put a lot of work into it too, man. And like the quality of the book itself, like it's important for kids when they pick the book up to understand that they are valued. Like a lot of times we create content for kids and books for children, and we just feel like, all right, we can just kind of make the cheapest materials possible, this and the other, because they're children and not going to be able to tell the difference. And I think that's a load of crap. And I think the quality of products that we create shows kids and children that they are valued and that we care about them and every little thing that we put into it. And as well as having diverse characters. Like I wanted to create stories that, you know, have characters that look like my daughters.
Right.
You know, it's hard to find that, man.
Sure. Legacy and the Queen, available everywhere. This book is fire.
And I think what's important about the book, too, is the struggle. Because kids nowadays, they kind of have it a lot easier than when we were kids. No, real talk. And she had the broken racket,
again,
the struggle,
commercials.
and all that stuff. Like, and I think that teaches kids who are into sports, and I know that's part of the thing, is part fantasy, part sports, is it's showing them the struggle. And sometimes losing or going through it makes you a better person, not only on the court and off the court. Is that right?
It'll make a man out of you.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's like it's about the process, right? And you know what you'll see Legacy go through. She'll go through an emotional journey, and she has to figure out how to navigate those inner emotions. You know, kind of the uncertainty of things, the insecurity of things, and she's got to kind of struggle with her own inner demons. And the way to teach children how to navigate that a lot of times is to do it through sports. Because when you're playing sports, you're faced with those challenges from play to play, whether it's baseball or basketball, what have you, versus just simply telling children what they should be looking for. Instead, you show them. And now when they go out and they perform and they have these emotional things that they're going through, they know how to deal with them because of Legacy or because of the Punies or because of the Wizenard series.
Absolutely. I remember you telling me a story one time that you played the Dropkick Murphys, an Irish song, after you lost to the Celtics for a whole year. Wow. That's how disappointed you were, losing to the Celtics in the finals. And then you came back and obviously won 2 more for the city. So thank you, man.
Let's go.
Hey, Kobe. Any plans on releasing a Spanish version or an Italian version? You know, Heredita la Regina or Legado de la Reina?
Absolutely. No doubt.
Great.
Now, listen, if you need, if you're putting out an audio book, myself, Leche, Garcia, DJ Leslie, we're totally down to use our voices to help. You feel me?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'll keep you guys in mind, too, as we continue to stretch out the Punies and all that.
Hey, appreciate that.
Absolutely. Man, we got our own recording studio, so you don't have to, it'd be a piece of cake.
Let's go. And you don't have to pay us because you're Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A follow back will do, you know?
A follow back will do. Absolutely. Hey, you know what I realized, too, Kobe, with reading this book, right? I realized, and I'm not a big fan of tennis, right? But now I kind of am because of the book, and I realized that the emotion and the physicality is just like being in the finals. Am I off there?
Yeah. No, you're right, man. It's the challenges. And the reason why it was important for this book to be about tennis is because I wanted this story to be about the struggle within, like within us as an individual, like you thinking through things. And like, you know, how you self-talk all the time. You kind of negotiate with yourself, like, am I tired? Can I do this? Can I not? And looking at the individual sport of tennis, there's nothing like it. Like there's golf, which is an individual sport. But in tennis, it's just you out there and you're mano-a-mano with someone else trying to stop you from accomplishing your goal.
That's
right.
right.
So you got to deal with the challenges within while at the same time dealing with the confrontation of an opponent.
For sure. And you know, growing up, a lot of kids had that same wall behind that garden, that your safe place, your happy place. Everyone has that, or everyone had that growing up.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's like, you know, and the important thing, too, is finding that passion, whatever it is. It could be tennis. In my case, it was basketball. It could be writing, singing, whatever the case may be. it's finding what that passion is, because then that anchors you down. You know, no matter what kind of pressure you're dealing with in life on a day-to-day basis, when you have that one anchor, you know, that thing that you love to do, it becomes your escape.
Sure. No, listen, Kobe, you gave us your story in real time, my G. And, you know, that's one story that I'll be telling my kids as well. Legacy, the Queen, the book is everywhere. Wherever books are sold, Amazon, get it. Legacy and the Queen.
Hey, Cope, circling back to your career in basketball, there's a couple standout moments in a couple games I was lucky enough to be at. One was the 81-point game, and the second one was you dropping 60 on your last game.
60?
If you had to pick one, which one was your favorite?
Oh, come on, Jeff.
Man, you know, that 81-point game helped us get into the playoffs. Like, we needed every game, you know, we could get in the tough Western Conference, you know what I mean? So I'm going to say that for that reason, but, like, the 60-point game was special, not just because it was the last game. It was kind of like a celebration with L.A., but also because my kids were there, you know? Like, the 81-point game, they were too young. Like, Natalia was only 2, you know, and Gigi was in Vanessa's tummy at the time. So, like, they couldn't see any of that stuff. You know, so to have my family there sitting courtside while all that was going on was extremely, extremely special, man.
There was the energy in there was unbelievable, man.
Hey, Kobe, you're extremely competitive. We all know that. And I think that's what we love about you as well. You know, that Mamba mentality. Anybody in the league right now reminds you of that Mamba mentality?
You know, what's crazy is that this generation of players, this younger generation, I feel like they grew up with that. You know what I mean? So, like, you see, like, guys last year in the playoffs that genuinely don't like each other.
Right,
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're going at it. Like, this whole buddy stuff is kind of seems like it's behind us now, where guys just genuinely don't like each other, and they're, you know, they want to beat each other, they want to talk trash to each other and all sort of stuff. So there's a good collection of players right now that have that.
Are you? Is there anything that you're not competitive about?
I mean, look, if I'm doing something, I'm going to compete at it. You know what I mean?
Sure, See, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, if you go up against Kobe, good luck, my G.
No, I mean, but it's everything, though. Like, if you're going to compete at something, you want to do the best job that you can. Like, if I'm even, you know, like, you know, when you pick up the Legacy book, like, that in and of itself, like, I'm the company, like, we want to make that the best product we can possibly make it. You know what I mean? So, like, we're competing to make sure that it's the highest quality. It's no different than when you step on the basketball court and you're trying to beat the people that are playing next to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, I have some quick rapid-fire questions for you, Kobe. The Hall of Fame speech, have you thought about it, and who will you thank first?
Well, I'll thank my family first, obviously. You know, God and the family first.
That's
right. My goal is to try to make it the shortest speech of all time.
Yes, yeah. In and out, my G.
Yeah, the longer you go, the more chance you make a mistake. I'm with you on that, bro.
Exactly.
Just make
it. Man, listen, I ain't worried about all that, because I'm going to say what I need to say, but I just want to make sure I say it, like, you know, fast as possible.
Absolutely. Some speeches are as long as careers. You feel me? So it's just like, come on, man. Someone bring up the music, man. Hey, the statue outside of Staples, the Kobe statue, are you in talks of designing it? Do you know when it's going to happen? For sure it's happening.
I have no idea, bro. Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know.
Well, now we have something in common. We both don't know the answer to something. I feel very close to you, Kobe.
We're on the same frequency.
We're on the same frequency.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question about Kuz, man? I know you spent some time with him and you know, giving him some pointers here and there. What, in your professional basketball opinion, made him that guy that the Lakers absolutely had to keep this offseason? Because there's a lot of trade rumors, a lot of stuff happening, but what's unique about him that made him that must-keep guy to help the Lakers moving forward?
Probably his versatility, you know, and I think the game used to be about having specialists on the floor, and I think it's gotten away from that, to having guys that can, you know, play all facets of the game. That includes offensively and defensively. And, you know, defensively, he has the potential to be a great defensive player. So I think that's one of the things you looked at as well. On top of his shooting ability, passing ability, it was just the size. You know, I think you put all that in the pot, and I think it made him indispensable for the summer.
And we're going to be in the playoffs this year, right?
Please say yes.
Shit, we better.
Grazie.
Nah, I mean, look, I'm you know, come on, man. Like, when you bleed, you know, purple and gold, man, that doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm sitting there just like every other Lakers fan, hoping for the best. You know, Rob has done a fantastic job, despite all the BS that was circling around him. He was able to focus in and have a great summer. and brought in some pieces around Brian that he can work with. So hopefully the guys stay healthy and get to work.
Legacy and the Queen is available everywhere, wherever books are sold.
Yes.
Amazon, you got to get this book. What's up, Leslie?
All right, so Kobe, big three. Would you consider playing in the league?
Yeah, because we're telling Cube that we have a connect with you, and don't make a liar out of us, Kobe.
Dude, man, Cube has been up to the office like when he was first, getting started with the big three, and we've talked about it.
We know.
Back and forth about it. I mean, and the answer is always the same: no.
What is that?
No.
Okay, because every time we ask Ice Cube about it, he's like, yeah, we thinking about it.
He said he's still actively recruiting you.
Ain't no we thinking about it. Ain't no we thinking about it.
You made your decision.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you.
He said, "I'm good, love, enjoy."
Yo, the Mamba Academy.
They're doing well though, man.
Yeah, they are,
every time I look up, they're playing in sold out venues and all that. So I'm really happy for him and the players that are participating. And it's awesome.
And Joe Johnson's getting looks from NBA teams. He's got like
right.
3 tryouts this week just based upon what he did in the league, which
That's
is
amazing.
That's amazing,
Well,
man.
he should though. I mean, Joe can play, man. He's one of those guys that can play when he's like 60, man. Just the way he plays and all that. So
For sure.
hopefully you got some GMs out there that'll smarten up because they got a couple players sitting out there that need to be signed. So
Agreed.
Okay. Yo, man, I know if Kobe was still playing, he'd be out there embarrassing
Oh
fools.
my God. Yeah, man.
Sorry, did I say that out loud? My
Yeah,
bad,
man.
my bad. Yo, the Mamba Academy. First of all, what a great facility.
Yo,
what a great place
yes.
to shape minds and shape athletes and stuff like that. We got a chance to go there, and I didn't want to leave. And every
It's
time I
amazing.
think about it, a little tear in my eye because I just think it's such a dope. It's such a dope spot. You know what I'm saying? And can I tell them about the story about when I asked for something and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, how do you guys make money?
Yeah.
Yo, so I went down to get some waters, right? First of all, I ran into you in the bathroom and I closed the door immediately like it was a one stall because you should be in the bathroom by yourself, sir. But I walked down to get some waters and I go to pay and I'm like, they're like, no, it's okay. And I said, how do you guys make money here then? And, it was just a 2-word answer. The girl looked at me and said, Kobe Bryant. And I said, you are absolutely right. Have a great day. And I'm going to go take my stupid ass way over there.
oh my God.
Yo,
yeah. No.
So is there other programs you're working on with kids and stuff like
Yeah.
that? And what's the website, Coach, so we could direct people over to the Mamba Academy real quick?
Yeah, no, man. We continue to work with kids, man, and continue to develop them like the Mamba Sports Academy. You should feel free to come up, take a look. Our main emphasis at Mamba Sports Academy is developing you with a particular skill, right? So be it tennis, basketball, volleyball, you come in with a mission, you come in with a goal, and we'll help you get better at that. And that includes physical therapy, that includes weight training, conditioning, nutrition, whatever services you want to add on to that. But our main focus is to get you better at a particular skill and craft. In terms of the studio, we have Punies coming, more of that. Working on a Christmas special right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Working on turning that into an animated series.
Oh, wow.
We have another novel coming out in November called Epica and the Tree of Ecroft. Working on building our in-house animation team to work on developing the Punies to an animated series. Legacy and the Queen to an animated feature film. So we have a lot of work, which, by the way, that's the other challenge, too, is because, like, the animation industry, there's a serious lack of diversity in the industry that we want to try to expose, people to. You know what I mean? Bring more diverse, be more culture to it, not just racial diversity, but also gender diversity. So we have a lot of challenges ahead of ourselves, but we're looking forward to kind of rolling our sleeves up and getting to work.
And that's what Granity's doing, man. And congratulations on all that.
Yes, sir. Legacy and the Queen available everywhere. Again, we all have legacy living within us, seriously.
Yes,
and
we
this
do.
book is great to read for yourself, for your children, for your kids. Catch up, man. Legacy and the Queen. Kobe Bryant, thank you very much, sir.
You got it, man. Appreciate it, you guys.
Appreciate you, Cope. Thank
You're
you,
the
man.
man.
Take
Love.
care.
You got it, man. Love to the fam.